This is the fuel tank for the car. Now, I hadn't realised these were quite unusual in that this is an EFI car, so electronic fuel injection, which means it has an in-tank pump. And I'd explained on the last video that I had problems getting hold of the pump itself. What I didn't expect was to have problems getting hold of the seal. Now, these seals, this is the genuine Ford one, which I've just bought. It was 18 quid or something. I couldn't actually get from Ford anymore. Now, these were really easily and readily available last time I did this. But this time around, not so much, and the old one had perished. Now this tank, which is a pattern tank, you can probably just see here, whoever it is that makes a little symbol on there, arrived to me with a fuel strap in there, and had been banging about and literally ruined the finish on the tank, so I had to repaint it. They wouldn't send me another one because they said the same thing would happen again, end up dented and scratched. So I could either have a refund or I could accept a discount of 20 quid. So I took the £20, somewhat reluctantly, but nevertheless, and I put this thing back together. Now it came with a rubber fuel tank seal. Now the other evening, I tried putting this in, and I must have tried maybe 20 times or so, and it was just an absolute pain. As you can see, it just folded over and folded over and folded over, and guess what? It folded over again. So I lost my temper with it, and then just left the garage, and I'll come back to it today, just have a go and see if I can get the thing fitted. But you can see the quality of the seal is rubbish compared. It's just really thin and horrible, and it's also nowhere near deep enough to take the full width of this rim, or even close to it, which I will show you in just a moment when I fit the Ford one. Okay, right, so I managed to get the seal on, much easier with the genuine part, although it's still a bit of a pain in the arse. Locking ring to go on, and then it's done. The tank can go back in, although I think I'm going to try and get the fuel lines and brake lines in first, or at least the brake lines in first, just so that I don't whack it about whilst I'm trying to fit everything back up again. Okay, so I'm making up the lines. I'm going to straighten these out a little bit more, but what I did is I put them into a workmate first and just sort of pulled them through the little groove in the centre just to bring them as straight as I could. You can see there's some bits here I just want to tidy up to make them a little bit straighter. But I've been following the line of the old brake line. Brake pipe is a complicated shape. The only way I can really get my head around it is by cable tying it to it, so I can work out where the bends are, so I stay in the same place. I shall go through and just finesse it slightly to get it a bit straighter, and then get it on the car, and then finesse it a little bit again just to get it all into the right places. This little puppy here, in case you hadn't guessed, is a brake pipe bending tool. It actually doesn't go quite tight enough for me, but it's just a good way of getting a nice 90-degree bend or something similar without kinking the pipe. Right, so the line is built up and I'm relatively happy. Just need to get this under the car now and see if it actually fits. So I made up the lines, and as you'd expect, of course, it didn't go quite right. So we've got a small connector here, and I just didn't notice they've put a large connector on one end. So unfortunately, it means that they don't fit. So I'm just waiting to hear from them now to see if they can send me out a replacement set. But unfortunately, that's killed that for the day. So instead, I have decided to start cleaning these up ready for paint. So might as well make some sort of progress. Quite happy with how these are starting to turn out. So this is just for a bit of love with a wire wheel in the drill there. You can see what they were like before the carriers, and after a good old scrubbing down, they're going to be given a nice coat of paint. I'm going to go silver. I really would like to have like a silvery gold finish, but not sure I can find anything that will that will sort of match that. But in the meantime, just a nice coat of silver, just to make them look nice and clean and fresh and tidy when they go back on. I don't really like going for a bright colour on something that's supposed to look relatively standard. So I say silver or black for me, and I shall pop them on there. If it's a performance model, maybe slightly different. More cleaning up, this time the front hubs. So these have been attacked with quite an aggressive wire brush, and they will be degreased and probably cleaned and then masked, so I can get those also painted. I'm in really good shape actually, not too worried about them, but just to protect them for the future. Whilst I am cleaning up the other hub still, you can see the first one here has its first coat of paint on, looking a lot better, I would say. Hopefully it's going to protect it. I mean, the hubs that were on there have lasted 30 years or so, so fingers crossed this will last a good amount of time too. Carriers have also had a coat of paint. They're drying on the trusty swing. You can see some work's been done on the garden as well. Not quite there yet, but new fence is in. This is how they start out. The caliper, as you can see, in pretty good shape, but just a little bit dirty. A little bit of love needed. We'll take these out, get the seal kit, and yeah, there we go. But whilst I'm here and it's getting a bit cold and perhaps a little bit damp for this now, I've also managed to get the one of the calipers painted and ready to go. I've kept the caps on just for the moment, just to stop the paint from getting in the system, but as you can see, I think it's starting to get a bit damp in the air, so not really ideal for painting now, so I think that's probably going to be it for tonight. One huge disadvantage of having not a lot of space for things is finding space to dry stuff that's been painted. Now this is all hanging up in the garage, so I've just come straight in and head-butted this hub. Now a headache. And that's it for now, but don't forget to like and subscribe to see what's happening next.